Wall Street Journal editorial board this morning writing about Biden's immigration damage, saying that ending Title 42, quote, will be this: if Mr. Biden wanted to undermine public confidence in the pro-immigration cause, he could not do better. This is an invitation for migrants to keep coming in for any reason. Americans can be forgiven for concluding that Mr. Biden's de facto policy is to allow unchecked immigration without admitting it. Will Cain, Fox and Friends weekend co-host, joining us now. Will, great to see you and great to have you here this morning. How much damage will this do, lifting this Title 42 policy?
Let's put it into context, Sandra, because there's a ton of numbers coming at us. And to me, the number that jumps out is the one you quoted at the beginning, that if Title 42 is lifted, we can expect 18,000 border crossings a day. Still just a number. So let's see if we can put some color on that number. Over a month's period of time, that's 500,000 illegal border crossings. That's the United States of America importing a city the size of Kansas City every month, or Atlanta, or Albuquerque every single month. And then ask yourself this: if you are expanding your population by the size of Kansas City or Milwaukee every single month, what's inside of that city? Well, we're starting with a criminal act. Crossing illegally is a criminal act, but you're going to import even yet more crime. Look, Kansas City has a murder rate in 2021 of 244 murders, Atlanta 158, Milwaukee County on pace in 2022 for 300. So this is what we are asking for. And quite honestly, the numbers would be much higher because you're starting already with an illegal act. And then ask yourself what can hide within a city the size of Milwaukee coming in every month. And then you get to Bill Maloogian's report. Then you get to Tom Homan. 23 terrorists that we know of in 2021 crossing illegally. This is what we're asking for. And Sandra, before we move on, can I just say, this is where the conversation needs to go in my mind. Does this represent an invasion? And I'm using that word very specifically because here's the real issue. The Biden administration will do nothing about illegal immigration. We know that. Can states like Texas and Arizona begin to take over the process of securing our border? They can't, as long as it's an immigration issue because of the supremacy clause of the Constitution. But if it represents an invasion, and this is where the criminal cartels come in, are they invading our borders, the criminal cartels? Then you have power under Article 1, Section 10 for Governor Greg Abbott or Ducey or any other southern border governor to begin to do what the federal government will not do, and that is to keep an invasion of a city the size of Atlanta proper, not metro, Atlanta, coming in every month.
Well, what we can say with certainty is that there's growing pressure from the president's own party to do something about this. You just heard from Henry Cuellar, Chris Coons, and others. So we will see which way the president goes as he continues to see that pressure from Democrats. Meanwhile, to the point about that policy being lifted that was intended to address COVID concerns, now you have this, Will. President Biden's new coronavirus response coordinator saying that lockdowns are no longer necessary to stop the spread of COVID-19. Listen.
We are at a point in this pandemic, Mike, where I think we can gather safely. Make sure people are vaccinated, make sure you have testing, improve ventilation. These are the strategies we have learned over the last 2 years, and if we implement them, do I think it's safe for people to gather together indoors? Absolutely.
And a Wall Street Journal op-ed puts it like this: officials adopt new message on COVID-19 behaviors. It's your call. But that's not the case in Philadelphia. The city has revived its mask mandate as case numbers there go up. But several business and some private citizens are now suing over that mandate. Will, is it possible that this science is changing or has changed this much?
No, the facts haven't changed. The science has changed. Has not changed. The politics have changed, and yet there's some that are unwilling to give up their addiction. You know, I think illegal immigration is obviously a story about crime. I think COVID is a story about addiction. We know that it has caused record spikes in addiction, but the addiction I'm talking about, Sandra, comes in this form. It's the addiction of certain public officials to the power they gained over the last 2 years in Philadelphia. It's an addiction to the, quite honestly, virtue signaling and virtue separation of those who think vaccination or masks makes you a better person than people that make different choices. And it's an addiction to safety. over freedom. There are some who truly have given in to fear over the last 2 years of a virus, by the way, that is becoming less lethal as we go along, mutating into a more benign form of itself. So we're addicted to fear, we're addicted to power, and we're addicted to being better than each other.
Interesting. We'll see what direction it goes. A lot of things are changing, even here in New York City. The status is changing. We're going to watch how it's handled all over the country. Will, Cain, great to have you here. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.